Right. Hello. I'm your host, Zeos Pantera, here on In-Ear Fetish, and I'm going to give the review now, well, I'm going to stop the camera then, of the Symphonium Audio Helios. You see, headphones.com sent me 3 Symphonium IEMs, and they're not going to be in this one video. We're going to watch them over the next 4 or 6 days. I don't know. These are the most expensive. The Helios are $1,100. The Triton are $900, and the ones that everybody wants to see, the Meteors, are $600. People have been just screaming Symphonium Meteor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them in reverse order. This is personally me. I haven't listened to any of these yet. I'm filming this before I start my listening sessions. I'm going to review the Helios on its own in this video. Then in 2 days on this channel, the Triton, and then 2 days after that, the Meteor. Because I want to know. I don't want to know if I'm working up. I want to know if I'm working down and if it's worth coming all the way back up here. So I'm going to give these a little listen, and then there'll be 3 videos this week on In-Ear Fetish, and I'll be in Munich. Thank you, by the way, headphones.com for sponsoring that. And wallpaper in the description. Be right back. Okay. We're back now after God knows. I can't even tell you how many times I've plugged these in and unplugged these. Now, these Helios, there's one thing you got to know. Hold on, we got to go to the page. We got to go to the page on headphones.com and read the thing. Because there's one little snippet that if I didn't read this, I would have no idea why the fuck everything's so weird. So it uses a system called FLAT, which is Filtered Linear Attenuation Tuning. Which is built, it's a proprietary circuit that's built in-house, so that the IEMs are not affected by impedance, so that no matter which source you use, it should be the same listening experience. Holy lies. Now I don't have my usual spread of amplifiers. There's a couple new boys on here that I'm testing. LA90, old hat favorite. I've had the Archel 3 Pro for a while. Tube amps and things, and then I have, this. I have amplifiers I'm familiar with. So why the fuck am I about to review this $1,100 IEM on a portable instead of, like, I don't know. I don't even know how much that Vioelectric is. I haven't looked it up yet. But I did my testing. This one sounded the best. This Vioelectric HPA 222 sounded better than this one. Then it made the LA90 sounded off, and then this was like a little bit. This was nice, but had something weird. Then this was just bass, and this was similar to that, but a little bit clearer. And then I plug it into this, and it's like, oh, this is what it's supposed to sound like. So the system that's built into the IEMs that's supposed to eliminate or cloak it from having to deal with impedance and impedance matching like the systems that IFI uses is actually fucking things up pretty bad on desktop style amplifiers. Like the LA90 is a speaker amp, so it's like it's detecting that and it's accommodating for that, and it's like, whoop, completely off. The next thing I did was complain about the tips. So the tips it comes with, you can see there's a little drawer that pulls out. There's a little card that says your serial number. Here's some of the tips it comes with. And they're like thick. So I took out the 2 because I wanted to make sure, people yell at me, Zeus, you use your Duconi tips. So pulled out some tips, tried them. I actually started out with the X-Lastic tips. All the tips I use, by the way, are linked in the description. I started out with the X-Lastic tips because I didn't think I would have the right size. And in the bottom tray, they had the right size. Here are the ones I ended up using. Big son of a bitch. They're so thick and heavy. And they made them more neutral than the X-Lastic. So I'm like, all right, I kind of guess what they're going for here, but it's not. One of the big things is this is a 4 balanced armature, and one is like their subwoofer, the special proprietary subwoofer one. In fact, I'm going to change tips again. I haven't listened to them yet with my render tips. I just did Duconi. Duconi was pretty damn good. The Duconi foams, I think, are my favorite so far. As far as like trapping the low end, because they just keep talking about this low end and everyone wants to hear this low end. So if anyone doesn't know, Black March from Kevin Penkin from Tower of God, can't wait for season 2. My tips, these are my collab tips that are foam filled silicone. These will give you fucking low end. Oh, we also have to I have to complain, and I'm talking about there's going to be some complaints in this short video. Look at this wire, all right? You know how an IEM is supposed to go in your ear, right? It's supposed to probably sit like this with the wire forward. But then the Symphonium is written like that. So then the wire is supposed to go up, but that doesn't make any sense because this is the right-hand side. So, right? I'm not wrong. Is it backwards? Am I doing this backwards? But look how thin this wire is. And look how far out it juts. That is, it doesn't make any sense. In fact, there's even a picture on headphones.com, which I find hilarious under the reviews section. Here's a dude wearing it. That is not, sir. That shouldn't be, I mean, I don't know how he's getting it to do that thing. I don't think I can get it to do that thing. But it's weird because it should be this way. So I feel like, and this wire has no retention at all. So it's just like a very, very lit. And I put it in and it held because I was using fucking, what's it called, tips. It held because I was using the X-Elastic tips. And then I go to adjust the wire and the wire is going completely out and down. It's not even over my ear. So I had to like tuck this up under my chin. So I would absolutely change the wire on this to something else. If you were given these and they're like, I'm not going to drop it down to the quality of like my Chimera cable for $50. I feel like $1,000 IEM should probably do better than that. But at the same point, like it's just a 2-pin and it's just right there. I don't understand why it is such a terrible, hold on a second. Watch it just never go back in again. It's just, this is terrible. Like you go to adjust and it's like pulling it, like twisting it. Is it supposed to be up like that? I guess it can go up like a little bit. Oh my God. First of all, the seal. This might be too much bass. Oh, gods. Hold on, we are... Yeah, that's... No, I don't think I'm digging that. That's not bad. They're a bit too lively with this tip. I liked the Taconi foams, and I liked the original X-Elastics. Honestly, the foams it comes with, or the tips it comes with, I think they're too thick. They're doing something weird. So, what does it sound like, Zeus? Well, now that we've gotten past the fact that even in the writings it says it's a huge IM, like I usually measure between where the tip goes and where the wire is, and if I can get my pinky there, that's a good space. This will fit my fucking thumb easily. This thing is the weirdest geometric shape, and it has the lettering like improperly. Like usually the IM is here, and then it goes up and then around, but this is like Helios is written that way. So they are kind of intending you to do the thing like that thing's doing. It doesn't make any sense. There should be a right angle fucking like up and loop. So I'm not going to change the wire for this one. If I might give it a shot for the Triton just to see how much better it feels. I'll have to get one of my expensive ones out too. I don't want everyone to complain, oh, the impedance matching. So I put these on, and with those tips, in fact, we'll put those fucking tips back, or we'll go with some of these. I haven't tried the Dunus yet either. The Dunu SS XLs, which are not available separately, are amazing. I immediately get that sense. You know when you're about to fuck up? We've all been there, right? You know when you hear like the hiss of an amplifier because it's turned up real loud, and you just get this omniscient like, and you're like, oh God, if anything plays right now, I'm going to die. I've experienced that hundreds of times and hopefully not died. Imagine that, but if it was good. I know that's weird to say. I'm trying to describe, describing sound is weird. I put these on and it's immediately felt like I was getting I forget what volume knob I had, but it was like 1 or 2 notches. And there was just something playing and I could just feel the space. It was like, oh, it wasn't the noise of an amplifier. That's not what I'm describing. It was legitimately just like, oh, this is going to be special. It's like going into a haunted house, and all of a sudden the ambiance hits, and it's like, oh, this isn't crap at all. This is going to be a fucking ride. And I wish it was a better ride. I don't dislike these, but they're being very subtle about all their things. They're talking about bass, they're talking about treble, and I actually read some of the reviews, which I don't usually do, and the guy was like, it's great. They're U-shaped or V-shaped. And it's like, are they? I mean, it's only a 4BA, and you're charging over $1,000 for it. So you means you gotta be on fucking point with what those BAs are doing. And the treble varied wildly on each amplifier, but when I finally settled on this one, it was on the desk, and this one when I was just testing it on portability. I'm assuming for an IEM they're gonna go for portability. It's such a weird fucking cable. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, I love how these tips feel though. These are so good. I need these. Yeah, okay, right here. Mina Giavisto. Which I don't have a set of speakers to show you what I'm listening to, but this is like the most like Weather Channel smooth jazz vocals. I'd say that for a 4BA, this is probably the smoothest sounding 4BA I've ever heard. It rings the bell of a $1,000 IEM pretty substantially. It's like, hey, we're going to do something and you're going to enjoy it. It's like, you know what? I can hear what's wrong with the track, but at the same time, enjoy it. Like where she is and how they recorded her, and they didn't really put a lot of soundstage in the track, because I know there's soundstage in these other tracks. Batman, Men at Work. That's a track from the original Batman, with the OG Batman movie. Yeah, instruments are just like, there's just scary sounds, like right in my ear, and then over here, and then back here, and moving. So it definitely, I would say imaging is on point for being a $1,000 IEM. Low end response, which is something that they're claiming is like, oh my God, it's going to be the... I have Rinko, so I'm biased. I'm biased for knowing what amazing bass sounds like unimaginable. This, however, is nice and tight. It's clear. Nothing gets fucked up by it. Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone. It also makes it real weird with volume controls. I have this on high gain, and I was at like 3 o'clock. That should not be there for an IEM. And then, that impedance matching system actually ruins it for tubes. I had the Tor Audio on and the X-Duo TA26 because a couple hours ago just reviewed the FIO, or 2 hours ago reviewed the FIO, and I was using it on headphone amp on the tube amps. And I'm like, cool, I'll try these out on the tube amps. Would not work. Maxed out the TA26, and it was just sitting there like, I'm gonna sing music, I'm singing music. And then I put the Tor and cranked the Tor. So it will not work with a tube. Whatever this system is, actively works to try to do things, and it does not like tube amps. I'm being washed with detail, like the Danger Zone is just Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone, all right? It's not the most audiophile track, but holy fuck. There's just, the sounds are just cascading over me in the highest possible quality. I just love this volume knob. I'm never gonna stop touching it. Red line overdrive. Overload? Red line overload. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find some bass tracks. Kino, the Chase from Futurist. It's like an electronic track, and it's like bum 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 bum. But it's not like shaking my head. This is not... It's just not a bass IEM. It can accommodate low end, but it is not designed for it. And I think these tips are probably the best I've heard on it so far, by the way. These are the Dunu SS's. They'll be in the description. They don't have the XL one in that package, though. I need the XL one, the big son of a bitch, and they don't have that yet. They're still only selling that with the SA6. Super clear, good presence. I don't know if what is presence, Cios? Presence feels like you're in the music. This is my revision of presence. I don't know what the hell everyone else says. It feels like I'm standing there and things are happening around me. It's not playing out of two speakers. I'm not getting presented sound from left and right. I am in the middle, and it is coming from anywhere. You can call that imaging if you want, but that's more like the accuracy of placement of sound. I consider presence like I feel like I'm there. Like I'm been transported into Memphis Bells by The Prodigy. I definitely see where the budget comes from on this. Right? This is a very capable IEM. I don't know if I'd put it up there like my favorite IEMs of all time. Nine Inch Nails, The Wretched. That's going to sound good. Yeah, there you go. So this is just the Wretched instrumental. It's a da-da-da, da-da-da-da. It's just dirge. It's a very, very deep. It's clean and clear. It's distortion. They actually have distortion in the track, and it sounds perfect. I guess, like U12T, I would probably put... That did more low end, though. It took also a while. I give approval to these. There's so many little things that the tips, you know, whatever they are. These are probably more normalized ball tips. Yeah, these are just normal standard. Actually, they're kind of covered in the material here, so you might have to give them a wash off before you put them in. So no, $1,100 worth if you're looking for specifically the clearest, almost tame sound. I'll give it that. I will say it's very tame. It's not wild. It's not out of control. It's not going to blow your socks off in any particular aspect. It just feels like it's $1,000 IEM. It's got the quality of the smoothness. It still lets you hear all the details. It's just not... It's too annoying to fiddle with, to get it in my head and get the tips right. And now the amps are getting wrong. Like, all this shit's adding up. If I was just some asshole and I'd be like, if I ignored the fact that it was weird on every amplifier, I could just be like, hey, everybody, these are fantastic sounding. No, the whole package is annoying. This whole package is annoying. The wire's annoying. The tips are annoying. The fact that it can't work on fucking tubes and I have to basically go to a portable, or specifically this Vioelectric versus all these other amplifiers I whipped out. You know, you weigh your situation. We'll see if the Triton does better, because that's only a 3BA. And then the Meteor, which is the one that everyone's talking about, will be the actual, like, is it? Is it the worth the fucking everyone's talking about it? We'll find out. Anyway, Patreon, subscribe, start, support this channel. Wallpaper available in the Wallpaper Horde. This mouse pad available in the description as well, in case you're interested in a sword field of samurais. And let's move on to the Tritons.